Now, turning 1,000 into 1 million investing in stocks is something that looks pretty daunting, but it is very possible. I've covered quite a lot of steps that can help you turn your 1,000 into 1 million onto this channel. I mean, some of the things that you need to understand is, of course, the time horizon. Start with education, invest into growth stocks, leverage compound returns, adopt high risk, high reward strategies, diversify wisely, be patient, discipline, consider leverage, reinvest profits. Locally, both here in South Africa and in the US, there are quite a number of stocks that have given people quite amount of money, or tons and tons of money. I mean, if you have to look into a stock like Tesla, in the past 10 years alone, it has went up by 2,391, whilst Nvidia has went up by 24,275%. We've got Palantir, it went up by over 1,000%, and in our own country, companies like Capitec, in the past 10 years, they have went up 657%. Now, the Nvidia, you will notice that it is a company that has done the most in the past 10 years. I mean, 24,000% in 10 years. This is something that is, of course, so great. I mean, there are quite a number of people that own Nvidia stocks. There are quite a number of people that, of course, are still buying Nvidia. And knowing that someone who bought Nvidia 10 years ago, it's up 24,000%. This simply means, or this literally tells you that you can make tons and tons of money from the stock market. I mean, if you had put 1,000 rands onto a stock like Nvidia past 10 years ago, you would be sitting at over 240, going to 250,000 or rand of profits, which is something that is pretty good, pretty exciting. Now, here in South Africa, like I said, there are some of the stocks that are doing this, are giving people this kind of returns, and Capitec is one of the stocks that you don't have to look very far off. It's a company that has generated quite a number of gains, or quite a number of profits to those that invest into this stock since inception. I mean, Capitec listed in the JSE around the 18th of February 2002, and if you had put 1,000 in February of 2002 onto Capitec, that 1,000 could have been now 2.1 million rand. So if you had put 1,000 onto Capitec, right now you would be sitting at 2.1 million rand. So it is there. It is possible that you can make tons and tons of money from the stock market. You can make lots and lots of money, and these are some of the stocks, or these stocks that I was just giving you here are example or practical examples showing you exactly which kind of stock that have done this to people. I've got my own stocks that I'm piling on because I know that, of course, in the long term, these stocks will give me tons and tons of cash. I have done a video, or quite a number of videos, already showing you some of the stocks that did very well, that generated me some good cash. The strategy is the same. You need to analyze. As long as that company, that stock is doing so well, you are definitely, or most definitely, going to generate tons and tons of money. I mean, since initial IPO of Capitec in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange to date, Capitec has went up by over 211,000%, which is that where the obviously 1,000 was turned to 2.1 million. If you had invested that long, or 25 years into Capitec, this is what you will be sitting at in terms of the gains that you have generated if you had put 1,000 onto Capitec back in 2002. So there is money to be made onto the stock market. There is money to be made into local companies in as much as there is money to be made internationally. But of course, when you look into the US Stock Exchange or New York Stock Exchange, the opportunities are more than that side than this side. I mean, we are seeing, or we have seen, stocks surging so well even in a short space of time. I mean, Palantir last year alone went up by 329%, meaning that whatever you had put last year or 52 weeks ago onto Palantir, you would be sitting at 329% of gains from this stock. So it is possible that you can make tons and tons of money from investing into certain stocks. Stock that has done the most for me, it's SoFi Technologies. I've done a video where I was sharing how I did it, and of course also showing you my profits that I generated because of SoFi Technologies doubling in a short space of time. Because of they got to profitability, they end up, or that resulted in the share price or stock price of SoFi into generating tons and tons of cash. Nvidia, you will know that, of course, it's a company, or it's another company that has done so well because of the fourth industrial revolution, because of the chips which they are developing that is helping not only the US but the world as a whole to grow in terms of AI. Their chips have been on demand, and therefore they have been doing so well in terms of generating revenue, generating profits, and that is why investors have been really liking Nvidia, or Nvidia has been that stock that investors are talking a lot about. But obviously we've got Palantir, locally we've got Capitec, that obviously has generated tons and tons of cash for people. I mean, there are companies like, if I remember well, Tungela is one of the companies that did so well for people locally. Tungela IPO, I think it was what, 20 something rands. Its shares went up to around 348 rands per share from that 29 rands which was their initial IPO. So it is possible. There are quite a number of stocks that have generated people tons and tons of money in a short space of time, and there are still going to be stocks that generate people tons and tons of money, and Capitec still remains that undefeated or undisputed champion that has done the most for people. This, or the primary reason that I'm showing you this, I'm going a bit practical onto sharing some of the stocks that have generated people tons and tons of cash, tons and tons of money. It's simply because some people, when you talk about the principles, when you talk about the steps that they need to take to order to see their stock market portfolio growing significantly, they need practical examples. And today I just thought I'd come with these practical examples, not only from the US side, but also from the local JSE or Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Companies like Capitec, companies like Tungela, companies like Sasol. Sasol, you know that though the share price has been dropping, 2020 Sasol share price dropped to 20 rands per share. This very same Sasol share price before the end of 2021, it went back to 373 rands per share, which again, it's one of the companies that obviously, based off the boost that we saw during the pandemic, it benefited, or it made those that own Sasol to generate tons and tons of money. So there are stocks that are still going to generate people tons and tons of cash. All you need to do is to find that right stock that you can generate, or that you can try to put as much as you can onto it, so that you can generate as much money as possible, because these stocks are still going to be there. There are still people that are still going to generate tons and tons of money from the stock market, and if you do it the right way, who knows, you might be one of the people that go down as someone who, of course, generated some good sales, some good profits by investing into the stock market. There are people that are reaching financial freedom investing only onto stocks. So don't let the naysayers rob you. Don't let, of course, people come and, of course, discourage you in terms of investing in the stock market. Stock market has been the place where people generate a lot, or tons and tons of cash. And there are people that are still going to make tons and tons of money. And all you need to do is to find the opportunity, the right opportunity, the investment that will help you reach financial freedom. Otherwise, with all that, just thought I'd give you this quick update. So tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also subscribe. Don't forget to hit or click the notification bells that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. That's all from me, and God bless you all.